Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Outside the Field. Today, guys, we're going to go over the week 3 lessons we learned from our games. It's going to be coming to you Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning. So hopefully you guys can hop in and see what we learned from the weekend and what we want to bring to you guys. Um, but first and foremost, guys, we're going to start with something a little more sad today, which is not really on brand for us, but it's a big part of the fantasy community. I'm assuming if you watch us, you probably watch Fantasy Pros at some point. And I don't know about you guys, but Mike Tagliere was someone I honestly really looked up to. He was one of the most accurate analysts year in and year out, and honestly just a stand-up guy. And it was a lot of fun to listen to and always hear his insight about the world in fantasy football. And he unfortunately passed, guys, due to COVID. So big rest in peace to Mike Tagliere and just the great person he was and effort he always gave to fantasy football. Um, Last thing I have though, guys, a little more upbeat, was unfortunately we failed to bring you the start and sit last week. Um, I messed up the recording, guys, so it's totally on me. But we will promise you it will never happen again, guys. Jacob and I want to make sure we always are on time and bring you the best quality content we can. So from this point forward, you will always get your videos on time. But Jacob, how are you doing today, my man?
Man, I'm great. I just got back from the Royals game. We're here ready to record some great videos for you.
Yes, yes.
We're excited to get you guys the feedback that you need to help you win this week, man. I don't know how you guys all did this week. I went 4-1 in my 5 leagues, so I'm up to what is it? 4 leagues are 3-0. I'm up to 12-2 so far under 3 weeks. So I'm or no, 13-2. 13-2. So yeah, I'm feeling good. And I hope you follow our advice for this upcoming week to help you get that dub.
Yeah, guys. So, like I said, welcome back to another episode of Outside the Field. I'm one of your hosts, Chris Weideman. As always, we have Mr. Jacob Crabtree over here, guys. So, Jacob, what was your first big thing that you took away from this weekend, man?
This weekend, the biggest thing I took away was Mike Williams.
Yes,
This is a
bro.
guy that I think we're both very high on Mike Williams this weekend. I think we're both going to touch on him a little bit, but I'm going to go ahead and say a bold statement. But I think this guy is the number one receiver in the offense. I think he has surpassed Keenan Allen as Justin Herbert's favorite target. And the reason I think this is because going into the season, we heard a lot of output from like the offensive coordinator saying Mike Williams is going to get the Michael Thomas role of the Chargers offense, and we got to realize that their offensive coordinator, the Chargers offensive coordinator, was the Saints offensive coordinator in previous years, and the year that Mike Thomas had in his outstanding number 1 year. So I think that this trend is only going to continue. I think this is a great week to try to go snag him if you can, because I don't see it slowing down anytime soon. What do you think?
Dude, no, Mike Williams is honestly playing really well right now. And if you actually look at his routes, like the type of routes he's running from the different types of the field, it's exactly the routes and the ways they use Michael Thomas in that Saints offense. So I do think that he will have that role. I think Keenan will still get more receptions and targets, but I think that Mike Williams is going to get your touchdowns and he's going to get those bigger targets. We're talking like an 18-yard pass to an 8-yard pass. So Mike Williams is gonna be stuck. And I said trade him last week, but I honestly might have been wrong, guys. I think if you have him, just hold him and be grateful. But the thing that really stood out to me this weekend, y'all, was the Chicago Bears, guys. That offense was just terrible. And I know we were all super excited to see Justin Fields get out there and see how that first weekend went. Allen Robinson started off real slow, so we're hoping he could get back on pace. And guys, it just did not look good. Justin Fields with 9 sacks. That's not going to cut it. The offensive line isn't giving him time. They're not giving David Montgomery time. Justin Fields seems more concerned about that deep ball than just completing passes. So it was his first game, and we're going to kind of wait it out. not going to react too much. But right now, guys, that offense does not look great. Allen Robinson has always overcome poor quarterback play, but even right now, he's struggling hard, guys. Um, what did you take away from that game and that offense right now, Crabtree?
Exactly what you said, man. It was a trash game to watch. It was not fun. And I'm with you. I'm getting dangerously close to potentially looking to shop Allen Robinson. I think that he'll start coming up a little bit, but this is somebody that I had high expectations coming into the season, and he is letting it down hard. David Montgomery, I'm still a little bit higher on. I just feel like this guy, as an overall talent, he's going to get the ball. They're going to force feed him sometimes. Even with that offensive line, he's still going to get receptions. I think that he'll still get his points, and I still think he has the potential to finish right around that 10 to 12 range. Right, I think I have him actually slated at my 10th spot for my rankings this current week. Um, I think that we both have a little bit different opinions on that though. I think David Montgomery, as you voiced with the 9 sacks, you're probably a little bit more concerned than I am. But yeah, Bears offense in general right now. If you can avoid them, I would. Maybe keep Justin Fields on your bench because I know he's probably cuttable for you if you have him. But keep him on your bench just in case. But that Chicago offense looks like a dumpster fire right now.
Yeah, so I kind of agree, man. So we'll see how it plays out. But last week I brought you three running backs that I kind of was like, maybe guys we need to be out on. This week I'm gonna bring you three running backs we should be in on. James Robinson, Najee Harris, and my boy Zeke, who Crabtree's gonna tell you that we're still not in on, but we are in on Zeke, guys. I promise you, if you have Zeke, it's gonna be okay, guys. He greatly outtouched Tony Pollard this week by 10 touches. He played more than double the snaps. He definitely was that lead guy, especially in the game they were up a lot of it. They fed it to Zeke. He got you the touchdown. He had a really good performance. He got 3 targets, 27 points. I mean, it was a good day for Zeke, guys. You're a happy owner if you had him. James Robinson comes out and drops 24. We can see that it's looking more like the James Robinson of last year we saw. He got 6 targets, 3 last week. He's getting the majority of the snaps, the majority of the touches. So, I mean, we're not going to be all in, James Robinson running back one again, but he's going to be probably a pretty solid running back two you could depend on. Trevor Lawrence is really struggling, so look to see them kind of feed James Robinson and have him get the offense started. And then Najee Harris also is getting it done through the air, guys. The rushing yards per attempt still is not good. He's still not getting more than 10 or 15 carries a game. But I mean, as long as they get him his points one way or another, we got 5 targets last week, 19 targets this week. So he's not going to get 19 targets, but if we can at least get a nice healthy 5 to 8, it's going to help him have a nice floor week in, week out. Any of those running backs stand out to you?
All right, let me break it down for you for Najee Harris right now. If you are not on the Najee Harris, Big Ben is big booty cheeks.
Big
He is
booty
not
cheek
good.
Ben. Big booty cheek Ben.
Big booty cheek Ben. He
Can we
is
get that down in the comments?
probably
Big booty cheek
he's
Ben.
yes, he's probably playing as one of, if not the worst quarterback in the NFL right now. Um, that being said, I don't expect 19 targets a game from Najee Harris. That if you expect that, you are ludicrous and you should not be playing fantasy football. But I do think that some way or another they are going to get the ball to Najee Harris. I think that is their only life force right now. They're gonna Deontay Johnson when he's playing, he's gonna put up some points, and then Claypool and Juju are just gonna be hit or miss, just depending on how Booty Cheeks plays.
Big booty
But
checks Ben.
Najee Harris, Najee Harris, he will consistently get the ball, whether it's rushing, whether it's targets through the air. He's going to produce. He's gonna have a top. I'm gonna say top 7 finish this year. It's gonna happen, and just from the amount of touches he's gonna get. Zeke still not sold on. He's played well, but he's also had 2 pretty, I would say, easier matchups. Um, I still think that
But he
this is
does
going to
play
be
like
well.
in the NFC least, so like I mean at the end of the day he's always gonna have easy matchups.
You're right. You're right. Not the last 2 weeks. Just this last week. That was a really easy. Bucks aren't easy. Or no, it wasn't Bucks week
No, no,
two.
he,
Who
he
was it
played
week two?
well, Chargers.
Chargers. Yes, they have a pretty tough defense too. So I'll give them week two. Week three, Eagles. I'm not sold. I just think that it's not Zeke. It's me. I think it's going to be. I think it's a passing offense. It's passing offense, which means he's not going to get the ball. And Tony Pollard is the better back out of the backfield catching the ball. It's just it is what it is. James Robinson. I like it. All right. Here's what I got for you, sir. Brandon Cooks, if you can go get him, go get him now. He can ball with any quarterback. It doesn't matter who's throwing him the ball. He's shown past 3, 4, 5 years
His
consistently in
whole
that
career. His whole
12.
career.
Yeah, his whole career consistently in that 12 to 18 range. Like it does not matter. He's been traded, I think 69 times. He is
Nice.
literally. Don't forget to insert the Gronk meme, Andrew. But he has just played outstanding. He's always one of those guys that you get him really cheap, and he plays really well. I think that this is somebody if you drafted or you can go trade for, like this guy is a league winner. Chris,
No,
what do you think about that?
no, seriously. Brandon Cooks last year, first year with Houston, receiver 16. 2018 with the Rams, receiver 13. 2017 with the Patriots, receiver 15, and then 16 and 15 with the Saints, and he was 9 and 13 guys. So no matter where he's been, no matter who he's played with, he's just one of those guys who always produces. He's just a monster, guys, and he has an insane target share right now. It's well above 30%. So I mean, you're gonna have a lot of people who just don't believe in the Houston offense, and I mean that's kind of how I was going into the season. But I mean, we have one player you need to roster from Houston. It needs to be Brandon Cooks, and he needs to be a receiver too. So go get him on your team, y'all. What do you have any other big things you want from the weekend and the slate of games we had?
Actually, I do have a few more things. Bucks. We'll run on Bucks real quick. The Bucks offense runs through Tom Brady. So for me, I'd expect top five QB performances from him week in and week out. This is just I know this is like kind of one of those like oh he's 44, but like they have so many weapons. They have a great offensive line. Like and this is just like the ball's in his hands. Like I think this year you're gonna see a top five finish from Tom Brady, and it's not something that I predicted early on. But like, if you snagged him in like a 2 QB league just for like this year, I think you're in great position to go pretty far just because he's putting up better numbers than we all expected. Currently QB 2 on the year, right behind Kyler Murray. What do you think about that? You think that's think that's fair?
I think so, and I think if you do want to roster a running back from that team, I think at this point Lenny Fournette has kind of established himself.
RB1.
No, please, guys, he might be your RB3. Never ever will Lenny Fournette be an RB1.
I was sold that this guy was gonna come in last year and just be an RB1, and
He was
I
slamming it
was
in our chat, and we
wrong.
all roasted him from day one to the final day, guys, because we all
I
knew.
was wrong.
But big play Lenny, guys. I think he's the running back. Maybe by matchup, you just have to kind of feel that one out, guys. He hasn't been great, so if you have him, I feel okay about maybe rolling him out if you're in desperate. But receivers, it's Godwin, and then I think Gronk's gonna get his every week from the tight end position, and then I think it's kind of up to AB or Mike Evans to just have a big week. So that's kind of what we've been saying. I think it's gonna hold true. But speaking of people with big weeks and just big performances lately, I gotta be honest, guys. I've always been the Robert Woods man, but this is the season. We got Cooper Cup going off, guys. Cooper Cup is the man there, guys. He has legitimate receiver one, like the receiver one upside of the season, guys. Matt Stafford is looking for him early, often, forever in the red zone for first downs. If he needs a ball to be caught, he's throwing it to Cooper Cup, guys. He's gone for over 30 points every game so far. He has just been a beast. And the touchdowns will come back, but even at that point, he's still going to give you 15, 20, 25. So Cooper Kupp is that man, and I would look for that to keep going all season. Crabtree, are you happy?
Matthew Stafford. I'm so happy to hear this. I think I'm going to ask Andrew to record this so I can have, or just record the clip so I can have it forever. But he is so right. Cup's been my boy since like 2016, 2017. Picked him off the waiver wire, helped me win my first championship. He's always going to be my boy. But this dude, not only does he have the hands, the eye coordination to catch the ball in traffic, but he's got that sexy ass beard too, and he is just killing the game right now, bro. Matthew Stafford has always been the type of quarterback that targets it on one receiver, tight end, whatever, and just throw him the ball. 1 year, Kenny Galladay actually played like almost the whole season and didn't get hurt. Top 10 receiver finish. Cooper Kupp has already shown us I think it was the top 7. I don't remember what exactly, but it was like a top 7 finish at the receiver from Jared Goff. I was waiting for this to happen.
Receiver
This
5.
guy, receiver 5, legitimate receiver 1 this year. Book it. If you have him, congratulations. I think you won your fantasy league this year.
You
All
probably
right.
did.
So earlier in the last segment, I mentioned about some things I was wrong. I am willing. I think it's time I come on here and admit that I was wrong about Aaron Jones.
Yes.
This dude, something I learned this week is that Aaron Jones is just out to always prove me wrong. He sees our podcast each week and just says, you know what, screw you, Crabtree. I'm gonna go score 6 touchdowns. He didn't score 6 touchdowns this week, but this guy still said screw you. Put up a crisp 21. I moved him up on my rankings. I think that this guy has earned the respect. I think Aaron Rodgers is slowly coming back alive and climbing my board. I still have him at like QB 10, 11, 12, one of those three. And then Adams is still the man. I moved him up back to 1. So he is somebody I still see. But Barkley and Zeke, even though I moved them up slightly, I'm still not on the train for that. I still think, according to ADP and where they were drafted, that they will not finish above running back 13 to 15 at best. And if stays true, that is considered a bust in my eyes because they were drafted as first round, which would mean that they're where they were drafted a top 6 or 7 running back. So to
Now,
me, that's a bust.
funny story before I send us off here for the day. But back in 2019, before Aaron Jones had like really ever had a big season, we were 10 weeks in. It was right before the trade deadline, and Aaron Jones had like 16 touchdowns through 10 games, and he was somehow like a top 5 running back. And me and everyone was like, no way Aaron Jones keeps it up. And I did go make a pretty bold trade, but like Sterling Shepard was like the man for the Giants receiver core, and he was hurt, and he was about to come back. So I traded Sterling Shepard for Aaron Jones. And Sterling Shepard never came back, and Aaron Jones finishes running back too. So no matter what, guys, like we can forever doubt Aaron Jones, but the points are going to be there. He's been a top 5 running back the past 2 seasons. He's probably going to finish there again, honestly. So Aaron Jones is that guy, never doubt. And when he's in that running back 14 spot next year on your draft board, pick him up because he's going to finish as a top 5 running back, just to despite Crabtree, because
Watches the podcast, man. He just
your
knows.
words power him every Sunday on that field, man.
He's gonna go out there and score a crisp 3 points this week.
Yep, because you didn't talk trash on him.
Just to prove me wrong. I have one more final thing I want to say before you send us off, Chris. Last thing I've learned this week, and this might be very sad to some of you guys. CMC is never going to be the same player. It sucks to say that. If you have him in a dynasty league, I would trade him. I traded him in my league this week. I traded him in my dynasty league. I traded CMC and Kenny Galladay for Najee Harris and Terry McLaurin, which I'm very, very excited about. I think that's very, very crisp and long term. I think that's solid. When he's playing, he's going to get you 20, 27, 28. The issue with this and the issue with him is his injury proneness and how like often he's going to be hurt. If you can always get a Carolina backup running back, I would do it. I just don't see this guy playing a full season again, unfortunately, just because of the usage that he's had. And since he does not play a full season, this means, in my eyes, after last week we had this debate, King Henry is the king,
He
and
is.
CMC is not the king anymore.
No, the final thing, guys, and this is like some deep dive in, like stuff that Crabtree and I have been doing, really looking into the dynasty running backs. That 1,000 to 1,200 like touches, like receptions, carries, all of them combined. That's usually where you kind of start to see that like downfall. Usually after you hit 1,200, LaShawn McCoy was the only like big name running back in the last 15 years I could find that after 1,200 touches, like his following season, went on to have a good year. Christian McCaffrey's at 1,100, guys. He's right there on the verge. So sadly, guys, it might just be his time, you know. And we hate to hear that, guys. We love these players as in our fantasy
Such
lineups.
an electrifying guy.
I don't know. He was iconic, guys. Like the most iconic running back one we've had for some years. So, but I think that's all we have today, guys. That's kind of what we learned from watching this weekend's games, guys, and what we kind of see really shift in the fantasy landscape moving forward. Um, as always, guys, really thank you so much for the likes and subscribes. We really do need those, and as we continue to try to grow, guys, because the more we see from you guys, the more we're really just pushing to give you guys better quality content. And for me and Crabtree are just in there digging down even harder for you guys. So thank you guys for watching as always, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for the next video, which will be waiver wires. Crabtree, final thoughts before we head out of here, man.
Man, if you can listen to anything that we said today, it is please to buy on Brandon Cooks, Mike Williams, and Cooper Kupp. Those guys are the guys right now. Appreciate everything. Appreciate all the likes and follows. If you guys have a time to subscribe or even share, anything helps, guys. Appreciate it. Later.
Thank you guys. Have a good day.